Hi, this is Tutor and this is lesson 687. Title of today's lesson is the difference between gather dust and collect dust. It is a request video, so I'm going to screenshot do it right now. Let's get right to it. Now there will be crossover on this because the meaning is kind of similar. If we say to collect dust, if someone says that something is collecting dust, it means that something is not being used for a long period and thus it is not even being touched. This, of course, allows dust to collect and build up over time. One will use this phrase especially to emphasize and spark this image in one's mind. All right, there's some subtle differences. I think with collect dust, this part is. With collect dust, we almost want to express the image of something sitting there. We've all seen things where we touch them and there's a lot of dust on them. So when you say collect dust, it really has that feeling that, people can imagine the dust building up on something or something being covered with a lot of dust, like if they picked up their hand and their hand was full of dust. All right, let's continue. Now to gather dust, well, first, gather dust is a little more formal. It can also mean to be unused or forgotten about and collects dust. So there is definitely crossover. You can use gather dust with physical things too, but it usually in a little bit more of a formal sense. Now here's a slight difference. Used in regard to non-physical things such as plans, recommendations, skills, talent, to mean forgotten about or ignored. In this case, I think you're a little more likely to use to gather dust with things that's not really like something that you physically touch. That's why, the image is not as important. All right, and we got several examples here to show you just how it's used. Here's the first one. You should sell those old books on the bookshelf to the secondhand store. They are doing nothing but collecting dust. So here you're expressing the image of the dust building up. I have not used my old bike for over 2 years. It just collects dust in the garage. Yeah, definitely. All right, number 3. Don't just let the exercise bike just sit there and gather dust. Now this is one where it could be crossover. You might be able to use collect dust here as well. The doctor told you to exercise for your health. Good. All right, number 4. Now that the new administration is in power, that bill will just sit there and gather dust. They won't discuss it or vote on it because they are not interested in voting on it. I think a little more likely to use gather dust here because, well, one, even though plans could be like pieces of paper, a bill could be, but, they change, they move. People actually physically touch them, so they won't really be physically gathering dust. Where here the focus is on more of being ignored. So this is what, and also it's about politics, so it implies it's more formal as well. All right, let's continue. All my language skills are just gathering dust. My new position does not require that I need them. Again, this definitely your skills are not physical. So it's not the image of, you can't see dust collecting on your skills. So in this case, I think gather would be a little more likely. Number 6, those recommendations will just gather dust because it goes against their policies and agenda. So again, this is probably also like in politics. Maybe they got recommendations from somebody, but they don't want to hear those recommendations because they don't want to do that anyway. So again, more formal, and recommendations are not a physical thing. So I think you're a little more likely to use gather dust in that sense. Anyway, I hope you got it. I hope you get a little better feel of when you're more likely to use one than the other. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.